If your interlocutor scratches his nose, it means that he is a little nervous and worried about what others think about his appearance. When you ask a question, an easy way to get others to agree with you is to nod during the conversation. Such a gesture is associated with positive, so it will make the listeners think that your words are the ultimate truth. If during a conversation the interlocutor's legs are turned away from you, most likely he wants to run away as soon as possible. When you're talking to someone and they cross their legs awkwardly, it's a sign that the person is insecure, afraid of you, or worse, lying to you. If you want to know if you are being followed, yawn and look around. If someone nearby is also yawning, then they have been looking at you all this time. A woman's body has twice as many pain receptors as a man's, and their pain threshold is much higher. If during a conversation the interlocutor tilts his head to the side, this is a sign that he is comfortable being around you, and he likes what you are talking about. If a person raises his eyebrows at the sight of you, he is pleased to see you. This happens on a subconscious level. You can't assume that men are more fun than women, or that their sense of humor is better. They just joke more often, and they care less about whether others like their jokes. An effective way to win over a person is to establish long-term eye contact with them. If doing this is difficult and uncomfortable for you, try looking at the person in the area between the eyes or eyebrows. The interlocutor will not notice anything, and you will look friendly and confident. By the way a person treats the waiters in a restaurant, you can tell a lot about his character. Joy can radiate not only a smile, but also eyes. If you see small wrinkles around the eyes, this is a sign that you are genuinely happy to see you. As a rule, people with wide and elongated foreheads are more intelligent or have a good sense of humor. Pay attention to your walk. If a person wiggles his hips a lot, most likely he is used to breaking the rules, and it doesn't matter to him what others think of him. If a person walks normally and stands straight without bending his knees, he appreciates people and cares about their feelings and emotions. The higher the frequency of the music you listen to, the calmer, more relaxed, and happier you feel. When talking to someone, keep an eye on their feet. This can reveal a lot about the interlocutor's body language. For example, when you approach a person, and he turns to you only with his body, he probably wants to be left alone. People who try to please everyone around them often feel the loneliest. If you want to build a relationship with a person, make sure it's warm before shaking his hand. Cold hands usually awaken distrust on a subconscious level. Smart people tend to make fewer friends. The smarter a person is, the more carefully he selects people with whom he is ready to be friends. If your interlocutor is shy, keep looking at him and nodding in time with his words. This technique encourages you to keep talking. If a person has thick eyebrows, they are most likely a little aggressive or short-tempered. People whose feelings of regret and guilt are stronger than others are better able to understand the feelings and thoughts of others. In crowded places, people tend to look others in the eye to see where they are going in order to avoid a collision. Use this to your advantage. Look in the direction you want to go when in a crowd. You will be surprised, but the people around you will instinctively clear the passage for you. The strongest and most vivid memories of a person are usually associated with what happens at the beginning or at the end, while the middle becomes blurred. Therefore, if you have the opportunity to set the interview time yourself, be the first or last candidate. When you hold someone's hand, it relieves anxiety and pain. Most often, women prefer men with deep, low voices. Researchers believe this is because men with deep voices appear more serious and less confrontational. When you argue with someone, be calmer than your opponent. This behavior will cause the person to throw out something that you can later use against him. If there is a person among your environment whose advice is most often useful, then most likely he had much more problems in his life than others. If you suspect you're going to be scolded by your boss in a meeting, sit next to him. Most often, people feel uncomfortable and unpleasant to raise their voice to someone who is nearby. Illegible handwriting is often a sign of high intelligence. The hands of such people simply cannot keep up with the speed of their thoughts. Our emotions do not affect the intonation of our voice or what we say. Rather, the opposite is true. What and how we say affects what emotions we experience. Women who like to wear pink or red lipstick tend to be more free and adventurous, while those who prefer dark browns are more calm and serious. Humble people talk less about themselves. Kindness is the most effective weapon. Use it in disputes. In addition to being silent, you can show a little positivity or courtesy. There is nothing more painful for rude people than a small dose of kindness. On average, women can keep a secret for about 47 hours and 15 minutes. The happier you feel, the less sleep you need. Silence is the best way to confront an angry person. To neutralize the opponent and make him feel ashamed of his words, just keep silent. Do not respond with aggression for aggression. It always helps. Brown-eyed people are more trusted. People with brown eyes are initially given much more credit than people with a different shade of the iris. If you made friends with someone when you were between 16 and 28 years old, chances are that this friendship will be strong and long-lasting.